start, like you wanted me to be quiet, right? For the start.
Yeah, that's what we talked about beforehand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're gonna do the intro, and I'm not gonna say anything.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Glad we're on the same page.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
I'm gonna do the intro now.
That's what I want.
Okay. Hey everybody.
Hey everybody. Oh shit. That's right.
Yeah. All right. Well,
talk.
I don't think you're fully getting what we're doing here.
No,
I'm gonna do the intro, and then I'm gonna tell people that you're here, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna introduce you.
Okay.
And then everybody's gonna know you're here.
When's
Okay, so
okay.
I'm gonna be like, hey everybody, welcome to the show.
Okay.
You're listening to Chronic Nonsense. I'm gonna tell them about like what's going on. I'm gonna tell them that we have a guest.
You know what? I think I get it.
And
because
then,
I've been on it. Listen,
then you're gonna come in.
I listen. I've been on a podcast before. I know when to talk. Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. No, I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
I know you're a professional. I know this is maybe a little different from what you're used to, because I know we're a little bit more. We're still figuring our stuff out. So I understand.
Thanks, kid.
So I'm gonna do the intro now.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Hey everybody. Hey everybody. Welcome back to Chronic Nonsense. I'm your host, Tim, and Dalen, your other host, your co-host, is not here today. He couldn't make it, so I have instead RJ John Podcast here with me, and he's going to answer some questions for us about how to make a podcast. So for all you out there who have burning questions in your minds about how to do that, we're here for you. We're gonna bang this one out. Bang it out.
Is now the part where I talk?
Yeah, you can talk. You can talk now.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to Chronic Nonsense, a podcast that. What's up? What's up, Tom? Are you gonna tell me something about podcasts?
Yeah, my name is Tim. We talked on a bunch of occasions. I don't know how you forgot my name.
I didn't. I thought I said your name correctly. It was Tom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my
Thanks,
name's
Tim.
Yeah. All right.
You say you got some questions for me,
I've got some questions for you. Yeah, I was going to interview you, get a little back and forth going about. All right. Yeah, you're going to want to maybe back away from the mic a little bit if you're going to breathe into it.
Sorry, I did. Listen, I've been on a podcast. I know how to get close to the mic. I know how to get away from the mic.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I'm overstepping. I shouldn't have said anything.
No, you're fine. I appreciate you.
You're
Good looking
professional.
kid. You're a good looking kid, Tom, and I like the way you do it, Tim.
Yeah. So here, okay, we'll start off with an easy one, just to like break the ice a little bit with the audience.
I like it when it's easy. If it's easy, you know what they say, lemons.
So, RJ.
Yes.
Can I call you RJ?
You call me whatever you want. Call me RJ. Though.
It's a RJ John podcast.
Thank you.
Mr. Podcast.
Yes. Well, you know that. Excuse me.
Was my first question.
Excuse me. You know that podcast is not my real last name.
That was my first question. Is what is your real last name?
It is.
Is it podcast?
No, of course not. That's a moniker. You know, like Beyonce. That's not her real name. That's a moniker.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
And who are some other people that? Prince.
Donald Trump. Yeah, Prince.
No. Oh yeah. No, Donald Trump.
George R.W. Bush.
George. Yeah. George.
Excuse me.
George R.W. Bush.
I had something caught in my throat. George R.W. Bush.
Yeah.
I've never heard of him.
Everyone knows him.
Excuse me. Can you ask the first question, please?
What was what's your real last name?
Well,
RJ.
It's Podcast Delaney.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. So it's really podcast is just a shortened version of that. It's almost like a nickname.
Isn't that kind of interesting?
Yeah. It is interesting.
Well, we could say it's a coincidence, but I do believe in God himself, and I think he had something to do with.
Yeah, I think so. I can't imagine it any other way. So let's move on from that. What's your favorite pastime?
Favorite pastime? I thought you were going to ask me about podcasts.
Well, I'm just trying to break the ice here.
Oh, okay.
Just get a little.
See, look at you, kid. You're learning something about me. So my favorite pastime, I like to go outside. You ever sit down? When was the last time you sit down? You doing it right now?
Yeah, I'm sitting right now.
When was the last time before right now you were sitting down?
I was watching TV and eating dinner.
That's exactly what I like to do. Sit down, eat dinner, watch television. Watch it, eat dinner. I like to watch the television. My favorite channel is True TV. I love Impractical Jokers. My favorite one is the one that's got the hearing problem. What's his name? Eric Andre? No. That's right.
All right. How much time would you say you spend watching TV? Is that...
I don't know, like maybe 13, 14 seconds.
I'm going to need you... Could you speak a little closer to the mic?
I know. I'm speaking in the mic. When I turn my head, that's to give you a second. All right? You like seconds?
You
ever go to a banquet, you go up for seconds? You ever do that?
Yeah, no.
Well, I was giving you
a bank?
Excuse me.
At a bank? I didn't know.
All right,
I'm sorry. I don't want to.
You said my favorite second.
Anyway, so how long have you been in the world of podcasting?
Oh man, I mean, you know me, RJ. That's my bread and butter is podcasting. I've been doing it for about 3, 4. Excuse me, get caught up because I'm getting choked up because it's my life's work, and I really take pride in how much I put into this craft, and so I've been doing it for about 3-4 months.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
quite a long time.
I know you've.
I know if you fly,
I'm sure you've spent a lot of.
It's about like 8-9 fly lifetimes. You ever seen a fly?
I thought that flies only lived for about a. No, that makes sense. Never mind, I'm with you.
Okay.
All right. Well, that leads us right into the next question, which is, do you have your own podcast?
Oh, I do not. I used to back in the day. My own podcast was called RJ's John Podcast. Another John in there, and I don't know why it was in there, but I kind of like that. I'm glad
you like the name of your podcast, RJ.
Excuse me. A couple of years ago, I had a podcast. I really like doing it. I like the involvement I got from, all my fans, all my family, all of them. I liked it a lot. I'm a big fan. And so basically I just couldn't I think my real calling, excuse me. I think my real calling was
could you back up from the mic just a little bit?
Are you going to tell me again?
Just a little bit, please.
What to do with the mic? And then
it's just the levels are peaking over here, and okay. I just want to...
Do you even know what a level is? Do you even know anything about what you got over there? You just kind of bought it with your grandpa's goddamn cash monies, and you got it given to you like a silver spoon platter?
I'm sorry, I don't really know you well enough for you to know how I didn't buy this with my grandpa's money.
Oh, sorry. I thought you stole your grandpa's money and you gave him that.
Yep.
Sorry.
No, that could be true. That could be true.
Okay. Well, how about you ask me that?
I'm sorry. I'm being unprofessional over here. My phone's going off. Things are happening.
What the fuck? You got a phone going on?
Yeah, no, that's...
So I had a podcast back in the day, right? And I was kind of like, maybe this thing isn't for me. Maybe podcasting isn't for me. So I tried some things out. I tried painting. I tried hiking. But I was like, what? Podcasts are for me. So I specifically produce podcasts now. I don't know if you heard of the Joe Rogan Experience. You ever heard of that show?
Yeah, of course.
Well, they used to have a producer on there who was me, but it's not anymore because I got kind of kicked out because I said a few choice words to Joe Rogan. I was like, you're not getting close and far away from the mic enough, So, you see what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah. So that leads me to an interesting thing. The fact that you've been getting closer and further from the mic, is that like an artistic choice? Is that something that I'm not picking up on?
Well, I like to play on people's ears.
All right.
Do you want anything else?
We'll just move on to another question.
I helped Bob Saget, God rest his soul. I helped Bob Saget start his podcast. I was a producer on his podcast called Bob Saget's Experience, not the Joe Rogan one. And it was a good one.
No, that's great to hear. I didn't know.
I helped him produce. I mean, I kind of told him, I kind of taught him a little bit about the comedy world, and he was like big fan. He was a big fan. That was 40 years ago now, something like that. Wow, yeah. Podcasts have been around for a long time. 19.
Yeah, that was actually one of my questions that I was going to ask you. How long have podcasts been around?
Well, podcasts have been around since I forget the year. I went to school for it a couple months ago. Years ago, sorry. I get confused on the language whether we're speaking. English isn't my first language, right?
I didn't know that.
No. You know what it is?
What was your first language?
It's not.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
I believe I said it already, so why do you need a repetion?
All right, we'll just move on.
Okay, thank you. Well,
yeah.
What was the question?
How long have podcasts been around, RJ?
Okay, so the year was, I think it had a 7 in it. I think a year had
was a 7 in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the number that's got the? It's got the thing. It's got the line at the top. It's got the one line at top. Bottom one has a line.
Line at the top and the bottom?
Yeah, I think so.
Like a 2?
No,
What are we?
definitely not 2. No, it's got a line at the top. You ever see a number?
Maybe not.
Come on. Okay, line at top. Got a little line and go like that. What's that number?
Oh, no, it's a 7.
Oh, it's a 7?
Yeah.
I was right. The fuck is this thing?
I have a quick question to bounce right off of that.
Ew, what the fuck is this shit? You have this just lying around in here? Oh, you fuck.
I don't really have any comments to make about the
You
fart putty.
disgust me, motherfucker.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me ask you another question. Excuse me, RJ.
Yes.
Do you want to tell me about your favorite podcast that you've ever produced?
No.
As your okay.
No, I can answer. I'm sorry. I didn't really do any of these improv classes, so I never really learned that. Yes, and so what favorite podcast I was a part of? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Avril Lavigne came out with a podcast around the year 2007. Is that the number? It's got
7's the one with the line.
got the line.
Yeah.
No, this is a different number I'm talking about now. It's got the line.
Well, then it's not a 7 then.
It's got the line at the top, line like that.
No, that's a 7.
It's still 7?
That's still a
Are
7.
you sure? This is not what I
You
was
did the
talking
same
about.
thing you did last time.
Okay, well, it was
Yeah.
2007. It's your podcast called Britney's Back for some reason. I don't know. She wasn't Britney, but she started a podcast. She's like, I need a good producer who's going to be able to get my podcast going. Why does it have to be so complicated? That's what she said to me when she was asking for advice. And I said,
No, it's understandable. Yeah.
I said, listen here, Avril. Yeah, pretty girl. You should really start a podcast. And then I helped her out, and that was my favorite thing I ever did. We talked about
absolutely.
She would mostly talk about. I would edit the levels. I'd edit the podcast. I'd tell her, give her some advice. I'd say, hey, don't do the thing that I don't like. Don't do the thing that I don't like to see.
All right, so you helped her along with deciding how the content was going to play out. Yeah.
I don't quite remember.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. So you've worked with Avril Lavigne. You've worked with Seth Rogen, and
yes.
Who else have you worked with of note?
A couple people. Do you know John? What's his name? John Stamos.
See, I've heard of John Stamos.
John Stamos. He was the guy who played Bob Saget in Full Man. The Full Man.
I'm not familiar with that.
So I get choked up sometimes and I start crying.
No,
it's
of
a
course.
condition. It's a condition. Listen, I'm not from this country. You know where I'm from?
No, I would love to know.
I'm from shit.
I'm sorry. Do you need some time? Are you okay?
Can you give me a second?
Yeah.
15.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
16. 15, 16.
Are you
What's the number that comes after 16? It's got
17?
It's got a line.
Yeah, it's got the.
It's got a line.
Yeah, no, that's a 17.
It's got a
There's a
line at
7.
the
There's a
top.
1 and then a 7.
I know the one, dude. Hey, man, we're working with a podcast.
It's just a
expert
line.
here.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving me a second. So I'm not from this country, actually. I immigrated over here from Canada. I was from Montreal, Quebec. That's how you pronounce it. I hope you don't remember that.
Okay, pardon me for asking, but I don't recognize your accent as Canadian.
Well, no,
where have you been since?
So I moved there with my mom and my big brother when I was I was a young boy. I had maybe about 7. I'm so sorry. I get choked up, and it's in a condition. It's a condition I got where I get choked
of course.
up.
No,
I was 7.
Nothing to be ashamed of.
Thank you so fucking much. I moved down to what's the state? It's got an M. It's got an M in it. Montana. That's where I'm from.
I'm sorry. You
Do I not sound like that? Or what's the problem?
No. There's no problem. Let me just. I have plenty more questions. We can just keep going.
Okay. Well, I don't really care.
All right. Here's another question for you. What's your favorite podcast to listen to, RJ?
Favorite podcast to listen to?
Yeah,
like
of
right
course.
now.
Right now.
Big fan of Chronic Nonsense. I like what you guys are doing here, kid. I like the part where you specifically, you get this keyboard out and you play a couple notes, and man, I kind of lose my jimmies about it. You know, I lose my pants. They fall off, and I start laughing. I can't help it.
RJ, that's so sweet. That makes me feel really good that you like our podcast so much. I'm sure if Dalen were here to hear you, he'd be really happy.
I have a question for you this time.
Yes, absolutely.
You ever have a nice fondue?
Yeah, of course. I love fondue.
Do you ever try it with your eyes closed? You ever close your eyes and eat a fondue?
No, I've never.
You ever dip your dirty ass fingernails into a pile of creamy cottage cheese and get it all nice and in your mouth?
No, I've never.
You ever thought about that?
I'm thinking about it right now.
I'm giving you a couple seconds.
I really appreciate that.
Give me a couple seconds again.
Of course.
Thank you. 1, 2.
Maybe you and I can go out for fondue after this. Yeah.
I don't really want to talk to you ever again after this.
All right. Well, moving on.
Thank you so much. Something wrong?
No. I'm just composing myself. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So what got you started in podcasting? What made you decide to try that out?
Well, you know, I was a little boy and I was watching a television program on the television. It was called Showgirls Tonight, and man, giant tits. You've never seen anything quite like it. Big bushes too. It was back in the day when they didn't shave shit. Back in the day, you know what I'm talking about? Probably had some dirty stuff in there.
I'm not sure if this is really.
What are you talking about?
Appropriate content.
Well, it's okay. When I was 13, that's when I decided, I was like, you know what? This bonus shit, I'm tired of it. Let's get it going. And then, so, you know, I watched it. Excuse me. I'm getting choked up again. I'm so sorry. I know. I have such fond memories of memories of my childhood and my father who was never around. And, you know, I was watching this show and I was like, man, big titties, big areolas. And I was like, you know, I should start a podcast.
Well, thank you so much for answering that.
Are you already kicking me out?
No. I have a bunch more questions.
How are you going to do a podcast that's only 14 minutes long?
We're actually up to 17.
What's the number that comes after 14? It's got a line at the top.
Yeah.
It's got a line there.
All right.
Is it 7?
That's not that's not the next number. No.
Please continue.
All right, let's move on. So for those of our audience out there that might be interested in starting their own podcast, how do you get your podcast out to the world? Like, what platforms do you use to produce it and get it out there?
Oh, so now we're talking about the producing part of it?
Well, really, I guess to more accurately describe this question, where do you post a podcast? How do you do that?
Well, back when I was a kid, you know, we didn't have these fucking little, what you got in your hands there. You got a little, what's it called? It's
a phone. Cell phone.
Thank you, cell phone. We didn't have any of that. We didn't have any cell phones. So back in the day, we had to do some crazy shit, man, to get a podcast out there. We had to get people to come into your house and listen to it, and it was crazy. Like ma would open my bedroom door, and I'd have people listening to my podcast, and then she'd be like, "What are you doing? These people like 28, 29, 30, 31." 32, 33, 34 years old, 35 years old, 36, 37. Excuse me, I'm just crying again. I miss my mom so much.
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that people considered that podcasting.
Yeah, that was podcasting. I would just talk in my bedroom. People would listen, and they weren't allowed in. According to my mom, they weren't allowed in. But you know, they listened to my podcast, carried it around school, showed it to their friends. But nowadays,
how did they carry it around?
What do you mean? They carry the words that I said in their head around school, and they say it back at their friends.
I understand. Yeah. I understand. I'm terribly sorry.
This is before the television was invented. Do you remember that? Do you remember when they invented the word color? The color on it.
I don't quite remember
when they
that.
Invented color. everything was in black and white back in 1999.
You've experienced so much, RJ.
I don't even know how old I am at this point.
Yeah.
Basically, so what you want to do if you want to get your podcast produced on this day and age, you got this thing is called Apple. You ever heard of Apple? On the fucking world. I mean, I imagine you've heard of them. I mean,
like the company?
The Apple company. That's right.
Yeah, of
smart
course.
Cookie.
Yeah.
You go to college?
Yes, right now.
What are you doing?
I'm studying.
It's my interview now.
I'm sorry.
Welcome to my fucking interview now. What are you doing in college?
I'm studying graphic design.
What the fuck is that?
I feel like you should
tell
really...
me. No, it's your podcast, so tell me how I should interview you.
I would love to just get back to our topic, which is...
Basically, what you're going to do on a podcast is you're going to have to go to Apple, and you're going to have to ask them for advice.
So you like
Apple,
email them?
You email them, you say, I'm going to have to start a podcast with you tonight. And... they're gonna get back and they're not gonna really understand what you're doing there. But
yeah, of course.
What you're gonna do is see, there's too much to explain right now if you're gonna produce a podcast. I recommend you get my book, the RJ John Podcast, how to write that podcast about it. Do you remember that? How to write that podcast? RJ John Podcast, how to write that podcast about it is my book that's been out for years now.
No, I didn't know about that, but that's
2020.
Where is that available? Where can people find that?
Oh, where is that available? Oh man, you ever go to bookstore?
Oh yeah, of course.
Go bookstore, you can get it.
So just any bookstore, anywhere you go.
Try to find a library.
All right. Well,
that's how you start a podcast.
Well, okay. All right. Thank you for
I think I answered your question.
Yeah.
This thing is fucking disgusting.
So I have a few more for you here.
This thing's fucking disgusting. My God.
Is there much editing involved in your process?
Oh, there's too much editing. I edit it too much to the point where you can't even really listen to it.
So is that a stylistic choice? You're saying you do it too much.
Well, it's not on purpose. I just get so overprotective of my product. I don't want the companies coming in and taking my shit. You understand?
So I'm sorry. I don't mean to misunderstand what's going on here. I was under the impression that you were somewhat of a podcasting expert, and I'm starting to. Are you all right over there, RJ? RJ, are you okay?
Sorry, I suffer from a condition called sleep apnea.
All right, well, so were you sleeping just now?
What do you mean?
All right, well, I've got a few more questions here.
How many questions we got here? What are we at?
We've got...
Here's one step. I'll give you... This is a free lesson from my book, my RJ's How to Write a Podcast About It. You got to look at the time on the thing on there. You gotta look at and see if you're going too far off the time. You get it be long podcast. No one listens to long podcasts unless they're short.
So how long would you say a podcast should be ideally?
Podcast probably about. I don't do good with numbers and time. So let's see.
Just give me an estimate, like anywhere between. Just pick a couple numbers.
Want me ballpark? You ever watch the New York Yankee Nick Mets?
No, I can't say I have.
Anything on the baseball?
I feel like you just took three different teams and stuck them together.
I know everything about the city of New York. I wasn't raised there.
All right.
So basically, to start a podcast, you want to go to Apple and shoot them an email. And what was the question?
I was asking.
Thank you so much. So basically, the length of a podcast needs to be about. I'd say the perfect amount of podcast time is 40 minutes, but you can go above that to whatever you want, and you can go below it, like however you feel. It's just kind of a feeling you get back in the pit of your stomach. Excuse me, I get real passionate about the time.
I'm sorry, you just gave me a bit of a start there.
Do you know what time it is right now?
No, I can't. Well, actually, I do. It's 8:29.
Jesus Christ.
Let me tell you.
Where's the time gone?
No, I've just got a few more questions. If you wouldn't mind,
do you have any ads?
Just keep this rolling. Not today, ads? Actually.
Okay, well, here's a little joke I got for you. I mean, sorry. Oh man, here's a little tip I got for you. You're gonna want to get ads on your podcast, man. Sponsors are very big in the podcasting scene. Get you a lot of money. Get you a lot of women too. A lot of women like money. You ever hear that?
Yeah,
I'm not pointing at you right now. I'm really not. I'm pointing.
We
at you.
try not to make generalizations like that on this podcast.
Women are for me. I'll tell you that. Big tits, love them.
All right.
Big tits.
Do you mind if I steer you back to the questions?
Bigger than my head, please.
I'm just going to steer you right back to the questions.
But I had an ad read for you. I have an ad read
you
especially
mentioned
for
sponsors. I have a quick question about that. How do you go about getting a sponsor?
Well, I can do that after I do my ad read.
All right,
How's that sound?
absolutely. Go for your
Thank
ad
you.
read. Yeah.
Now, McDonald's is a perfect place to get your burgers. See, I'm reading off of a script right now. You see me reading off this script?
Yeah, no, I see
This
that.
is what we call a mid-roll ad. We roll it in the middle of a podcast, and we roll it at the end of a podcast. We roll it throughout the whole podcast. Are you ready for that? Ready for the editing that it takes to do?
Excuse me. I understand.
McDonald's is a perfect place to get your burger. Get it out. Get your burger. Excuse me. I can't understand what this word is. Catch up. McDonald's is... Excuse me. You know ads, right? I'm doing one. McDonald's is a perfect place to get your burger. Man.
RJ.
Excuse me.
Maybe we should come back to the ad.
I got it. I swear to God.
Are you sure that this company's all right with sponsoring us? Have you talked to them about the fact that this is going to be on our podcast?
I am always sponsored by McDonald's, and I know them. I'm very good friends with this guy.
They don't mind that
They don't mind that I'm doing this.
All right.
Let me finish, please. McDonald's is the perfect place to get your burger. Don't shit.
All right, I feel the need to tell you guys back at home that I don't.
McDonald's is the
think
perfect
that McDonald's
place
is actually sponsoring us.
But McDonald's is perfect place for your burger. Don't buy anything else
I'm
at
not sure this guy
McDonald's.
knows what he's talking
Perfect
about.
burger place. Get it fresh, hot. Loving it. I'm loving that. Do you like my ad? Do you think it was good?
Yeah, your ad was great.
Don't
My gosh,
don't yell in
I'm
my ears.
sorry.
Don't yell in my- You gotta learn how to get into the podcasting world.
Yeah, I really do have a lot to learn.
Do you have any questions for me? I feel like you haven't even introduced me yet. I mean, for this show. When was I here for that? You know? How you doing?
Yeah. Okay. I'll reintroduce you. I just want to make sure.
You just do this show, please.
We may have to cut some parts of this out anyway. I don't know if Dalen would be okay with having McDonald's sponsor the show.
Why is he not okay with that shit?
I'm not sure McDonald's is okay with that.
I don't think McDonald's is listening.
All right. Well, all right. We'll just move on to the next question.
I think McDonald's is going to really appreciate. I think the first thing they think is going to be it.
All right, everybody back at home. Here's RJ John Podcast. He's going to answer some more questions for us. Welcome back, RJ.
Am I supposed to talk again now?
No, you don't have to. Hold on, I have a question for you.
Did you cut out my McDonald's ad?
No. I would never do that.
Okay.
Let me ask you some questions
I
here.
didn't ad about McDonald's.
Let me ask you some questions.
Okay.
You ready?
I've been
for
ready.
some questions?
I've never been not ready.
All right.
Go ahead and ask me the question,
what
please.
are some good strategies for promoting a podcast?
Good strategies. Flyers, really good. You go outside, make a flyer outside specifically.
Okay.
Print it out, put it on your family, give it to your family, give it to your friends, give it to your tennis. Go to the tennis court, go over to the chain link fence at a specific tennis court right in front of my apartment. You put a flyer that says "Lost dog, save my dog, where's my dog?" and listen to my podcast, and you get a lot of listeners. Another way you could do it is by billboards. Billboards are big. Put a flyer on a billboard. I mean, it's hard to see from all the way up there, but you put a flyer up there. Man.
So, do you know any non-flyer related strategies, like maybe something digital?
I have an ad I want to read.
All right, no, I'm sorry, we're not doing it.
McDonald's is a perfect place to buy a burger. I swear to God, get a burger at McDonald's. You'll love that.
Is that the end of the ad?
I can read it again if you want.
No, please. Thank you. I really appreciate you doing that. I just have a couple more questions for you here. We can move this along, get everybody back home. Information about podcasting. Yeah, no. If you're gonna do that, is there any chance you could back away from the mic just a little bit?
No, you're the expert here. Yeah, why not? Fucking lousy chode burger. Eating a chode man. You're
sorry, what was that?
Nothing.
What was that you just said?
I think you're a beautiful man, Tom.
All right, so what are some tools that you need for podcasting?
Beautiful tools you need. You said something about beautiful tools that I need
just
for
really
some
just tools in
hammer,
general. Yeah,
like a hammer, screw, driver. Need a couple of those.
those are tools. Yeah.
Definitely need a microphone. If you ain't got a microphone, you're not got a podcast. What you can do about that?
I'm sorry. What do you need a hammer and screws for with a podcast? Maybe it's something I don't know.
Well,
about.
just in case anything breaks.
Okay. All right.
You ever fix anything in your life before?
No.
You ever take a saw table? You ever take a saw to a table? You ever? I'm sorry, just looking into your eyes and I don't see anything. I don't feel a heartbeat.
All right. Well, RJ, I also wanted to ask you.
Hey, welcome to the Chronic Nonsense Podcast. Getting all your time with it. Yeah, Renan, you're gonna love it. You like that intro I just came up with? On the spot. Did it for you.
Yeah, thank you for that. It had a lot of energy. It's a little different from what we usually do.
Kissing my ass. Can you ask me the next question, please?
Yeah. So how
Thank
much
you
does
so
it?
much. By the way, I just wanted to let you know how grateful I am.
Yeah, no, you're so welcome. I'm glad that we could have you here.
It's deep in my Canadian blood.
So how much does it cost to start a podcast?
$13, something like that.
Are there any special sort of mics that you need when you're making a podcast?
I would
Anything
say
in particular?
no, the first mic you want to get is the Bronson Feinstein.
Sorry, what was that? What was that mic called?
Were we rolling?
Yeah, RJ, what was
Bronson Feinstein. It's a microphone that's only comes out once a year, 2 times, 3 times maybe a year, and it's really good. They don't release it that often, but when they do, man, it's a good, tasty microphone. Eat it. Perfect microphone at McDonald's. You're gonna just love that.
All right, for everybody at home, I'll try and see if I can find that mic and link to it. I'm not sure. I haven't heard of that one before, but if RJ's recommending it, well.
Hey man, if I recommend anything, you should listen.
So
jump out a window right now.
What sort of devices are good for recording a podcast? Like what sort of device do you record the audio onto?
Like physical devices?
Yeah.
Like
what would you plug your mics into?
I definitely have a couple vices. I mean, I drink pretty much every day. So like, my vices
No. I mean devices. Yeah. Like what when you have your cords coming from the mics and then you plug them into a thing,
I understand your question.
You press record. What do you press and record on? Is it a computer? Do you use some sort of soundboard? Do you have like a I know Zooms are pretty popular. All right, well we'll just move on from that one. What's the hardest part of making a podcast?
I'm trying to think of what you record a podcast on is the thing. It's got a line at the top, line at the bottom. What the fuck is it called? The fuck is that thing called?
Are you talking about the number 7? Is that what you're...
What was your next question? Sorry about that.
What's the hardest part about making a podcast?
Man, getting a good roll in on the hardest part for me was I kind of gave up a lot when I had a good job. I was working at UPS. I was just stacking boxes, and that's when I decided, this is it for me. This is the end of my life. And then, a guardian angel came to me. God bless her. She's a mine. She said to me, you guys start a podcast. And so when I started that podcast, man, it really changed my life, because the hardest part about podcasting is like, especially when you do it like by yourself for the first time, and that's your only source of income, it can get real tough in this economy. You know how today's economy is. So like paying house bills, paying all this stuff. There's a lot of things that go into it, but if you really succeed, you might just find that
RJ, are you okay over there? Are you doing all right?
What are we talking about?
Oh, we were just talking about the most difficult part.
Is this a real microphone?
Yeah.
Are you sure this? I don't hear myself. I hear myself.
That's good.
You got questions for me?
I've got one more question for you before we close this out. We're gonna wrap this up. Don't even worry about it.
You didn't even do anything. What, are you taking a picture of me right now?
All right, we're just gonna wrap this up real quick. One more question.
You don't mind
we'll get out of here.
You don't mind that I was touching myself there, do you?
No, I would never.
Are you taking photo evidence of that? You better not report me to the police. It's gonna give you good customers.
Yeah, I would never.
I got another ad read for you. Hey, going to Wendy's Burger Buggies Biscuit. I'm making big burgers for you. You're never gonna get it. You've gotten it. What are we doing right now? What's going on?
I mean, I was just going to get ready to ask you the last question that we were going to wrap this up.
We're already close to... Are you sure you're done with me? You're done with everything I'm doing here, huh?
I mean, was there something specific you wanted to talk about? We talked about the questions beforehand. You, pre-approved these. If there was anything you wanted to add.
I told you, I don't have a long memory. It lasts about 3, 9... What's the number? Yeah, it's 9. Okay.
All right. You. Well, was there anything that you wanted to add before we get on to our last question here?
Is that the last question?
No. This is a.
Well, then now I feel like you're lying to me, and I don't know who to trust anymore.
Why don't you tell us about some of the different aspects of podcasting that I may have missed?
Joe Rogan is the best podcaster on the face of the planet. The way he just really says what's on his mind really triggers my happy finger.
Well, thank you.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah, that really gave me some insight.
What was the last question you had?
Oh, the last question. Are you sure there wasn't anything else you wanted to tell people about podcasting before we get there?
Yeah, podcasting it's not for the faint of heart. If you got a podcast, if you're going to podcast, you got to make sure you got all the tools that I discussed in my book. You want to buy my book. It's called The Podcasting Experience by Joe Rogan. Excuse me, I get choked up every time. Oh, excuse me so much. I get choked up. Go ahead and ask me the last question, will you?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a quick one for those out there. No, okay. I'm going to need you to put your shorts back right where they were.
They were on my body. Are you sure you want them back on my body?
Keep them there. Yeah, please.
They were on I like them on the ground here. They're on the ground.
I would really appreciate.
I'd really appreciate my underwear was off too.
Well,
but,
okay.
I won't do it. I won't go that far.
Let me just real quick before we get out of here.
Wait till you're ready, kid. Go on. And 3, 2, 1, go. Introduce the podcast.
Do you think that podcasting spells the end for traditional radio shows?
Wow, that's a heavy one. No.
All right. Well, thanks for joining me here today. I'm really glad that you could be here.
No, thank you, Tom, for giving me the chance to come on a podcast and really go into. What's the problem? What do you look kind of weird at my face right now? You're looking like the weird one. If you see that movie, this got the guy, his face he's got weird. It's a weird one. You know what I'm talking about? You look like that guy. Why are you looking at me like that? Thank you guys so much for joining our podcast and giving out to the dream kids out there in the kid world. McDonald's has a perfect burger. You're going to buy it and you're going to love that burger and taste ketchup in your mouth.
I'm really starting to...
Yes.
That. Where did Dalen meet you? How did...
Dalen?
How did you get involved with this?
Well, basically, when I met Dalen, he was at a strip store. You know what that is? Store on the side of a... You know that thing where you go outside? You ever go outside?
Did Dalen, talk to you before he invited you?
I met him
to be on this show.
I met him at a fucking strip store. What's the problem with you? Just every time you interrupt me, guys. Thank you so much for watching a podcast with me.
All right, yeah. Thanks everybody at home for tuning in.
And that's right.
I'm glad that we could bring you
so much. We're gonna do
you
it.
all at home some information about how to make a podcast,
and that's gonna happen to you right at these stores, huh?
I really.
Yeah, I'm teaching you how to do an outro. Come on, let's do it with me. I'm doing an outro. outro. Come on, sing with me. Come on.
All right, RJ. I'm just
you gotta
gonna
do it with me. Come on. I know you got in there. I know you got a singing voice. Come on. I
don't know what.
I'm giving you the
what are we
do.
doing?
I'm giving you do re mi. You ever hear that? Come on. Do. I mean, sorry. I sing with me. Come on. I love podcast. There you go. You got your little shot. But
all right. Well, thank you for. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. You introduce me
listening
yet?
to RJ John podcast. He was he was a great guest on our show. He told a lot of he said some very interesting things to you guys out there.
You're pretending I'm not here. Hey, kid, I'm still here, right? Do you want me to leave or something? What are you doing?
I'm just gonna
what are you doing?
We talked about this before. You were gonna disappear, and I was gonna do the
disappear.
Outro.
You think I got magical powers?
No. I just need you to quiet down while I do the outro.
Well, I'm gonna give you a chance to do the outro right now.
I'll just record the outro later.
No, you can do it right now. Do it right now. Listen, man, I'm gonna give you a chance.
I'll record it later.
I'll give you a chance to do the outro right now.
All right, all right.
You're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. I just want to let you know.
All right, everybody out there, please.
Thank you for joining our podcast. Sorry, you go.
Yeah, thank you for joining us today at Chronic Nonsense. We're just hanging out. Hopefully, Dalen will be back next time. I miss him being on the show. It's a little different without him.
Good looking kid.
But I appreciate RJ John for joining us today.
Hair. He's got great hair. That kid Dalen. You ever see the kid Dalen? You know his name?
Yeah, I've met him.
You're doing a great job. Keep doing the outro, please.
All right. Check us out.
You can check us out at podcast.com.
And
McDonald's perfect place to get burger.
You can check us out at Cronsense on Twitter and Chronic Nonsense Pod on Instagram.
Do you need help?
Please go ahead and email us at
I can help you with the outro.
Chronic Nonsense Podcast at gmail.com. Yeah, it's really I appreciate that.
I know a lot about outros, I promise.
Yeah, all right. Thanks. Join us next time. We'll see y'all later.
Go outside.